Welcome back, bench warmers. As you can see, we got a new host today, which happens to be me. A little different tonight. As you can see, we're at our own the comfort of our rooms, our homes, and it's just me, Josue, aka Dyer. To my
Me,
right,
myself, and I.
me, myself, and I. To my right, I see John, aka Gat,
You,
and below me, it is
our,
uh,
our crack producer.
our
All right.
technical
Unnecessary producer. Me,
uh,
myself, and
M-
I.
Marco Cruz over here. So I'm gonna do my best to be the host, to be as good as Eric. I mean, he's phenomenal every day, every time that we do our podcast. But this is the bench warmers. Like and subscribe right down below. I think it's below, either to the side or left and
Everything
right.
is right below.
Everything's right below. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. Um, a lot has happened yesterday and today in Europe.
Yes.
Champions League.
Semifinals.
Yesterday's game was a banger, really good game between Man City and Real Madrid. And today we had Liverpool hosting Villarreal, which was also a good game. Yesterday, Man City took the win, 4-3 over Madrid. Yeah, how'd you feel about the game?
Well, I didn't watch it. I watched some of the highlights.
Well, I didn't watch it.
it
I feel like that's what we're gonna keep on saying throughout this whole recording. Is I didn't watch it, but I saw the highlights.
was a crazy game. Some of these goals that were going in were nuts. It probably should have been a much higher scoring game, but
It could have been.
that was
Should have.
it's a great way to take it back to the Bernabeu. Even though Madrid lost, I think uh, I think they'll still be happy that it's at least only a 1 goal margin, especially the way that game ended up being.
That is true. And now with the away goal ruling out of the tournament, I mean, Madrid would have had 3 away goals on aggregate right there. So, but now it's a little bit different this year. Marco, what did you think about Madrid? Trailing, always trying to stay in touch with Man City. I mean, they were down 2-0, they got one back, but they kept trailing. They were never able to find that equalizing goal.
So that's so I was gonna watch the game until I saw the first goal come in the first 2 minutes. I think it's 2 minutes or something like that. It pissed me
Mhm.
off. I was gonna rush home to watch the whole entire game because I was nervous. I did mention last recording that I felt I was walking into this game nervous. But my expectation was a tie, 2-2 tie. Well, my expectation was thrown out the window, and they said, "No, Marco, you don't know what you're talking about." And they basically showed me
You're
why.
you're delusional, Marco.
Yeah, basically Marco, your 2-2 fucking predictions are shit. Let me show you let us show you what we can do. Uh, it's become a habit for Real Madrid to go down early. Not early, but just go down in general. I feel
Mhm.
like in Josue, you brought it up not too long ago before we started recording that we tend to do that at least throughout the stages of the Champions League. We were always down. We would
Mhm.
catch up and then walk away with the winner at tie. In this case, we went down early with two big errors from the defense. Two horrible errors where I was questioning where the fuck is Alaba, why the fuck is Militao doing what he's doing, is Mendy playing, why are they left alone? All these questions through my head, but at the same time, I know and we can see what Real Madrid is really about, and it's that what they call it, that DNA, that Real Madrid DNA, that desire, that willingness, that confidence to know that they'll be able to get out of it. That
Mhm.
even though we go down early, we're down 2-0, we'll continue fighting. We're not putting our hands down. The, one of the gentlemen from a Chiringuito did a whole reenaction of a Rocky Balboa fight versus any of his many uh, uh, people that he was fighting against, and he would reenact that. Look, the first goal was a punch in the gut, and then the second one was a knockdown. But we would get up and we would score one, and then we would get hit again, go 3-1 down. Um, we would get up again, score another one. Then they went 4-2. We would get up again and not only score a third goal, but Benzema said, "Fuck you, I'm gonna do a panenka." And
Who did he learn that from?
Sergio Ramos himself, the one that doesn't give a fuck about anything.
So basically, we can come to an agreement that Panenka is better than Skip.
Hell yeah! I mean, I mentioned it last recording, and none of us would have ever thought that that was gonna happen this upcoming game, specifically from a Real Madrid player. Like Sergio Ramos was known to do the panenkas every time he picked up a ball and he had to take a penalty. At least in the past season or two that he was still at Real Madrid. Benzema is coming off of missing two back-to-back penalties in one
Mhm.
same game.
Yep.
The balls that you have to do a panenka, plus the situation that you're in, you're 2 goals down against Man City. And your ass says, I'm gonna do a panenka. I don't know if he thought it split second, if it was planned. All I know is that he did it and it worked. And um the funniest part about all of this is that as much as I see the flaws in the game itself, and and everybody in seeing the flaws, because I swear I don't know if you've seen the highlights or you saw the game itself.
I saw the game. I was able to sneak away from work
You
and watch
saw
the
the
game.
flaws in our defense, and
Yes.
if you ask anybody, or if you've been seeing all the ESPN and Chiringuito and all these other sites that are talking about this game specifically, it seems like who really walked away winning is Real Madrid, even though they lost, which is very, very weird because the result says 4-3, but at the same time, it kind of feels like they're not sweating it. They know that they're going to Santiago Bernabeu. They know that they're going to home turf. That it doesn't matter what they did or didn't do at Man City. It's theirs to take and theirs to lose, and they're known for bringing it back and not putting their hands down. And some way, somehow, they'll walk away with the win. It's weird. Like, I was pissed at the end of the game, and then the more I see commentary about it, the more I realize that this season specifically, out of every other season, we're that team that doesn't matter where we're at. We'll always continue fighting, and we'll fight until the last second of the game. I'm like, fuck, okay. Gives me slightly more confidence. It reminds me of the minuto 93.
Against Atletico Madrid final.
Exactly. Don't never put your hands down.
Exactly.
One movement, one pass, one header will change history. And
Well, let's just hope at home at the Bernabeu, Madrid doesn't go trailing again, because this is a much tougher team than Chelsea. Because when they played at Santiago Bernabeu, they were trailing Chelsea 3-0, and they were able to come back, finish the game out 3-2, and they were able to move on. But there's a whole different story. This time they lost away from home.
Correct.
Before they won at Stamford Bridge. So all we can hope as us Madrid fans, you are a Madrid fan, right? Because Valverde's there.
Know what he is.
Yeah, I mean,
Because Valverde is there. That's your reasoning.
For real, my man has sweatshirts from Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he must have a Barcelona. If there's a new Uruguayan in Barcelona, he has that jersey.
No,
well,
definitely not. There's a line you don't cross.
You crossed the Madrid one, so.
Hey man,
Yeah,
I got my jersey right underneath.
I have underneath. Around here somewhere.
It was a stellar performance. I hated the fact that Madrid were trailing the entire match. They weren't able to find an equalizing goal or have an opportunity to lead the game. But let's just hope at the Santiago Bernabeu it's a different story. Let's just hope it's a good game again, because I don't know what it is with Man City and knockout rounds, but they always have a good knockout round game. I remember against Monaco, Tottenham, a couple times actually, or maybe just once against in Champions League. But Man City always has really good games in Champions League knockout round.
Yeah, and just so that we end, if you want the topic, the good thing about what the upcoming games, for at least for Real Madrid, is the next one they don't even have to win it. All they have to walk away is a tie. With a tie, they win the title. So this game's kind of landed perfectly, and that's thanks to Barcelona as well because them losing last weekend,
Oh, you're
uh,
talking about La Liga.
La Liga,
Okay.
them losing last weekend allows us to go into this weekend's game and only look for a tie. That means a lot of our main players will be rested.
Hmm.
Alaba walked away with a little bump. He was seen like waddling a little bit, getting off the bus. Casemiro should be back for this upcoming game, which is extremely. He was a key player that was missed this past week against Man City this past Tuesday.
Hmm.
Um, so we should be able to rest all these players and be prepared for Man City. And I believe they play again next week, right? Or Wednesday, I'm
Next
assuming.
next Wednesday they do.
Yeah. So we should be more than prepared. Not only should we be able to finally and quote unquote win the league this upcoming weekend, um, but rest enough that we can go and be prepared to play at home against Man City.
Yeah. So this weekend, Real Madrid would be at home to Barcelona Catalan rivals Espanyol.
Yep.
So let's see if Madrid could actually hold out a draw or even a
A win.
W
Yep.
to secure the title, La Liga title. What number would that be for them?
35.
30, 35, their 35th title. Okay, so that takes care of Madrid and Man City. The other Champions League match was today. Liverpool hosting Villarreal. Villarreal, I got to see the game. Villarreal were actually playing pretty good defensively, but they just couldn't get behind or get past that back line of Van Dijk and Konate and the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. But they did provide a lot of pressure. Um, Liverpool walked away with the 2-0 win. They went into the half 0-0. An own goal was the first goal, and then Mane scored the second goal. Any of you, whoever wants to take it away, give me your thoughts about can Villarreal or uh, possibly contend for the win next week at home turf in Spain, or will Liverpool just run train on them this time?
I think that's gonna be a tough ask. I mean, yeah, they played decently enough today. They were able to keep the margin at just two against the powerhouse that is Liverpool. But I mean, they are gonna be home on
Hmm.
Tuesday. And at this point, it suits Liverpool better because now Villarreal have to go for it because they can't just sit back now and hope that there's a counterattack so that they can try to get back two goals. That's just not going to happen. Liverpool going up 2-0, they're going to do their own sitting back, I'd imagine. Maybe not as much because they're still a quality team. They don't really have to set up with their two blocks of four just to keep everybody out. But Villarreal are going to have to go for it. It's going to be a fun game to watch. It's probably going to be a very open game.
Hmm.
It's going to be very back and forth. I'm hoping there's a lot of goals in it. Either way, it's going to be a fun game to watch.
What do you think, Marco?
Honestly, I think this is
He
more
always
of a.
has that chuck on the beginning.
Honestly, I think this is gonna be a great battle. I feel like it's like a David versus Goliath battle. It's a small team versus a big team. It's what everybody wants to see. Yes, of course, the Villarreal is on an uphill battle against Liverpool, knowing that they're going home to have to fight for the game. They have to, like Gat said, um, they're down two, so they have to go to attack. They have to attack, try to get those two goals as early as possible, and then if they want to sit back and play their own game, then by all means go ahead and wait until 120 minutes to go to penalties if they want. I don't know, but if there's somebody, in my opinion, quote me if I'm wrong, please. If I'm not mistaken, one of the only coaches that I'm aware of that knows how to ruin a momentum from Liverpool is Unai Emery. If I'm not mistaken, he's done it already two times in the past in a European final. Am I wrong?
Uh,
Or was
I
was
I
it
know I know
Was it?
in one. I know one European final in the Europa League final when Emery was the coach of Sevilla, and Sevilla beat
Well,
Liverpool
yeah,
3-1.
there was. Okay, so it's two times. Well, one time and then this time if they were able to do it, because I know Emery walked away with three back to back. I think Sevilla European wins. I want to say early 2010s. I think I could be wrong. Yeah, I know you're looking it up right now, so please help me on this one. But I know he ruined one of the Liverpool ones.
Hmm.
Um, so if somebody can ruin it again, it technically can be him, and he's known for presenting a really strong team in competitions like this. He knows
Hmm.
what needs to be done. He knows what will take their players to the next battle, which is the finals. Um, do I see it happening? Yeah. In a good day, everything has to line up perfectly. But if I were Liverpool, I would worry a little, just a little bit, that you were walking into a sleeping not giant because he's not a giant. Like I said, I'm considering the David in this occasion, but to a sleeping hungry team that will do anything to make it to the final. Um, let's see. I could be completely 100% wrong, and Liverpool will shit on them in Spain, or this can go to penalties and
Yeah.
and make it even
It
more
also,
interesting.
it's also going to depend the mindset that Klopp is in because going up 2-0, he can easily just rest a couple of the guys too to make sure that nothing happens. So because they still have a league to play for as well.
Yeah,
So
but
it's all going to depend on that lineup too.
yeah, but there's a difference between the it's well actually on both ends because this is also affects Man City. Is anyone drops a point this week, the other one picks up and walks away with the title. So not only is this weekend very important for both teams, so they can't drop points or tie or anything, so you have to go all fight out. But they also got to go all out for the upcoming week. So
Right.
Villarreal has nothing to fight for. They're in eighth, ninth place. I can't remember. I could be
Seventh.
seventh. Okay,
Hmm.
so their fight if they want to continue European competition is to win this. Real Madrid, all like I said, all they have to do is get a tie and they win the title. Liverpool and Man City are both fighting each other for that first place, and we're neck
Yeah.
and neck 1 point away. So neither of them can literally put their hands down this weekend and next weekend. So there's going to be some wear and tear. I think Man City they're used to the rotation of players, so I think for them it's a little easier. We'll see how Klopp handles it when he has to do it.
Okay. Well, like we said before, both Champions League matches are next week. Tuesday, Madrid hosting Man City, and Wednesday, Villarreal hosting Liverpool. Both games in Spain. Um,
Let's
Let me
wait, but
get your
before you do, what do you think? I mean,
well.
I've been ranting a lot. Do
Well,
you think it's going to be easy for them? Do you think it's going to be hard?
I don't think it's going to be easy because Villarreal, they're going to try to play very defensively and hopefully get a counter attack against Liverpool. I feel like that's what they've been trying to do today, but they weren't really successful at it. They had their chances, but no. But now they're going to be at their home turf, and I feel like, to be quite honest, the amount of Villarreal fans that I saw at Anfield today was phenomenal. They had a big support fan base at the game today. So just knowing the crowd that's going to show up for next week's game, it's going to be a sold out crowd, and they're going to do their best to be louder than Anfield was today. So I feel like Liverpool are going to like a smaller size type of Anfield stadium. I mean, I've saw something on Instagram where it said the population of Villarreal is almost the same amount of people that you can hold at Anfield. So
Oh
pretty
fuck!
much you could, yes. So that just shows how small of an area city is Villarreal is in. But I do think that Villarreal is going to hold their ground. They're going to do their best. They will possibly get 1 or 2 goals in. I just don't think that it'll be enough to get them to the final, which is going to lead to my prediction. I'm gonna say it's going to be a draw, 2-2. And for the Madrid Man City game, I'm gonna say Madrid 2 and Man City 1.
So 2-2 meaning Liverpool passes because there's a 4-2 aggregate.
Correct.
Okay. And you said what, Real Madrid?
Madrid winning 2-1. But that would take them to extra time.
What do you want?
So
I completely forgot because like there's no away goal rule.
Yeah,
there's no away goal rule.
So we're fucked in that sense.
So I think it will go to penalty shootout and.
Oh wow, you think we're gonna go all the way there? Okay.
Yes, and Benzema's gonna win it with the Panenka.
I don't think he'll do it again. It'll be funny if he did though. I mean, anything can happen. Fuck.
Hey man, Rodrigo said that he was practicing it after the game all weekend before the match. So.
Oh, was he really?
That's what Rodrigo said in the statement.
Oh shit.
So I don't know how much of it is true, but that's what I read.
I mean, he's not known to do that. So I think he just knew that because he missed the last 2, he had to change something up, and I guess La Panenka it is, and this time it worked. I don't know if it's gonna work for a second time, but it might. Sergio Ramos got away with it multiple times, so.
Yeah. So I'm just saying it's gonna be a Madrid Liverpool final. I do not want it to see a Man City Liverpool final because they're already competing for so many things.
I'm not gonna lie, a Real Madrid Liverpool final scares the shit out of me because I know what Real Madrid can do with the home and away,
right,
against Liverpool or any other team, but the way that Liverpool stacks versus how Real Madrid stacks right now, I'm more afraid of
in a one-off game.
Yeah.
It's scary to think about.
Yeah, that scares the shit out of me. But if we can walk away with the win off of the team that we have, the shit that we can talk.
I wish Nick was here to give us his input about Liverpool because that's his team. He's a fan of Liverpool. But what do you guys think? Give me your predictions, scores of both games. Mark, I'll start with you, or Gab, since you already won.
3-1 Madrid and 1-0 Liverpool.
And Marco?
I want to say the same thing. 3-1 Madrid. 3-1 Madrid. Yeah. The Liverpool one. That one is throwing me off a little bit more. The Villarreal. I think that the Villarreal has it, and based on today's game, it kind of lets me think at least that at least they have the balls to go for it. So I want to trust in Villarreal, and it would be funny to see a Spanish final. If knock on wood, that's how it ends up. I'll go with also 3-1. Wait, 3-1. No, I can't because then it's 3-3 as well. Actually, no. Wait, you know what? Fuck it.
3-1. Yeah, damn.
I'll go with. All right, let's get started. Okay, I'll go with a 4-1, but it's gonna be 3-1. We're gonna go to aggregate, and then between there is gonna be a goal, and we're not gonna go to penalties. We're gonna end up at 120. So it's gonna be 4-1 total. 4-1 total.
So 3-1 at full time, 4-1 after extra time.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. To Villarreal.
That'll be one hell of a game to watch. Holy cow, if that happens.
I mean,
Marco, if you get that right, go fucking get a lottery ticket after that, because that would be ridiculous.
That would be funny as hell. But I mean, hey, shit can happen, man. I'll trust you. I know. I think for the memes, I think it'll be hilarious. And just for that, I'll if I'm wrong, shit.
That's exactly what I'm reading.
It's funnier if I'm right than if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong,
we need to win for the memes.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, it's like Marco just with another dumb prediction. But if I'm right, you're like, fuck, where did you get that one out of? How do you get that one out of your ass? Like, it just be funny.
But if you are correct, that will be Villarreal's first Champions League final in the history of the club. So
It sucks that
Let's
would
hope
be
so.
against
Let's hope so.
one of two big teams in the world.
Hey, Man City's looking for their first Champions League title.
It would be
So
great to see one first timers, like not first timers. Man City has made it to the final before, but one of them two walk away for the first time with the trophy. If Man City was the one to make it to the final.
well, we'll see. Before we leave the Champions League topic, fun stat: Benzema, 9 goals in all knockout rounds this year. He has the same amount as the team Chelsea itself have scored in all the knockout rounds,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and Man City, I think, also. So
he's scoring more than everyone else.
yeah,
Scoring more than whole teams. That's crazy.
so
That's Ballon d'Or candidate right
The
there.
talks are there, but it's just the beginning of the season. So, well, the beginning of the year, not season. Sorry. So let's see. Let's see what happens.
well, we'll
I don't.
see.
I don't trust it with my. I think they'll give it to Messi again, even though he hasn't done shit. So
Yeah.
I really don't care for Ballon d'Or.
He won, he won PSG the title.
He gave 5 assists, I think. So that's how he got the title.
So other European matches that are coming tomorrow,
Mm.
the Europa League semifinals. Rangers will be hosting Leipzig of Germany. West Ham and Frankfurt will play at London Stadium. So that's Europa. And in the Conference League, we got Premier League side Leicester hosting City A side Roma, Dutch side Feyenoord hosting French side Marseille. So just to add that to it. Um, but let's move on to tomorrow's match of the Premier League. Manchester United hosting Chelsea. How do you guys think about that match, especially in out of form Manchester United, what somewhat out of form Chelsea?
Aren't I mean I'll let Gag go in a minute. Look, to be honest with you, I don't see we when we say out of form. Honestly, in the past 5 games, Chelsea have only lost one, so it's kind of hard to stay out of form.
That's why I say somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat out of form. I think mentally they're not there. I mean, I think the Tuchel had some errors going against Arsenal, um, and stuff like that. He still barely walked away with a win because of Capitan Pulisic.
Because of LeBron.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
he was
LeBron
God,
trash.
of
that
soccer.
is
The
the
LeBron of
most.
soccer. Because of him, they walked away with the win the last game. Sadly, with the form that Man United have right now, I don't see them losing this game. Chelsea, I mean. I think this should, in a sense, be like a booster to correct and figure out their shit before they end up losing more points. So, if I had to predict something, a score line, I'd say it's gonna be a 3-1 because Cristiano Ronaldo, for some way, somehow, will always manage to score a goal. So I'd say 3-1 Chelsea.
Okay, at Old Trafford. That's going to be another loss at Old Trafford for United in what, the last 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like United have put their hands down. Like they're just. I feel like not even with the strength that Cristiano Ronaldo has and the amount of pressure he wants to put that whole team under his back and stuff like that. Not even with him, they are able to bounce back or give a glimpse of a desire to win something. Um, and it really depends on how they lined up. I don't know if Maguire's going to be playing this upcoming game or not. Are they?
No, he's got some kind of knee injury. It's possible he might not even be back at all for the rest of the season.
Oh, really? Well,
Is
we only have 5 matches, so it's. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised if he's not. I mean, why push yourself to come back if you're not fighting for anything, in a sense, right? So might as well just get better and see if you or get sold or whoever the next. Well, sorry, we already know who the next coach is, but if he's gonna be utilizing him or not. So again, I just feel like because they put their hands down so you can see it. I don't expect much from Man United this upcoming game.
what do you think, Gat? Can United come out with a W, or will they get another penalty and shamble it again?
I think it's going to be a good game regardless of what happens. It's all going to depend on who shows up on both ends of the pitch, because, like you said, Marco, Chelsea just barely walked away with the win against West Ham, and you also have to remember this is, if you look at West Ham's lineup, this is their B team, and Chelsea still barely were able to walk away with the 1-0. So it's all going to depend on what Chelsea side shows up. It always depends on what United side shows up, because we might be worse than Spurs with the roller coaster of a season, and when are we going to show up, and when aren't we? Um, but I think it'll still be a good game. Unfortunately, Sancho was added to the injury list. He did pick up some sort of injury as well, so he's also added now to the long list of first team
Oh
players that we
man.
have out. Cavani might be back in training, but I don't think he's not going to be ready for tomorrow. I think that'll be for the weekend. Um, Ralph has already come out and said that he wants to pick up some momentum and end the season on a positive note. So I can only hope that that translates onto the pitch. And with the amount of first team players that we have sidelined, that means we're going to have a lot of young kids, and hopefully that means they're going to want to step up and show the club what they're worth, especially with Ten Hag coming in. Ten Hag likes the youth, so I think this is their time to start showing what they're made of, so that they can hopefully get their names on the team sheet next season. So I think it's going to be a good game. We can definitely walk away with the win. It's going to be tough. So always against a side like Chelsea, you just never know. But I think maybe a 2-1 we can probably get away with.
Okay. All right. Well, what would be a funny thing to watch is if both United and Chelsea get a penalty, and both Fernandez and Jorginho, the battle of the skips. So who does
They'll
it
both
better?
they'll both think at it.
Who do you think will score it? Because they both have
Neither.
missed both have missed in the past penalties. So
Neither. Both will
you
get
think
saved.
they'll both miss it? Let's say hypothetically in this game, for some reason, they both get a penalty on each side. They both walk up to take it. Well, at least Fernandez is the captain now that Maguire is out, right?
Yeah.
When he's not on
That's
the
what it
pitch,
seems like.
it's either Ronaldo or Bruno. So it depends on who Ralph wants to pick.
Okay. So let's say Ronaldo was like, "Fuck it, just continue taking them. Let's build up your confidence."
Okay.
Yeah, not gonna happen, but whatever. This is a hypothetical
Well,
situation. So.
well, it was actually. I did read after that it was Ronaldo's decision last game to let Bruno take it. I can only assume, just because of everything Ronaldo has gone through, that he didn't want that.
Pressure.
It was too much pressure, and I guess he knew that he would just be berated no matter what. So he made the choice and said, "Bruno, take it." So we'll see if he lets him take it again. I don't think
Let's
he
say he's
will. If
still
that
that same
happens,
mindset.
I don't think that happens. I think Ronaldo takes the next one. But should
What?
Bruno take it,
Again, this is a
it'll be
hypothetical.
redemption. Yeah, it'll be redemption if Bruno takes it.
So you think Bruno will score versus Jorginho doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think they'll both do the skip? Or do you think
Oh,
like one
of
of them is
course.
like, I can't do this shit anymore. This is not working for me anymore. Should I
They'll
take
both
it out?
they'll both do the skip.
They'll both do the skip. Damn.
I would love to see in the summer, like some kind of like YouTuber or podcast guy pick up both of those players, Bruno and Jorginho, just to have a one-on-one face-off to see who does a better
The Simon are the only
skip pen.
big YouTuber that I know that could be able to pull some shit off like that. That would be funny though. That would be funny, like to see, because I feel like they both go for the same side, which is the left bottom corner. Am I wrong?
I think since they're both righties, I think that's the easiest way to do it. Because I feel like a skip, kicking it to the right with the inside of your foot, is probably a little bit harder, because you have to turn your body as you do it at the same time. I don't know. I ain't a professional at it. We try to do that on Monday night. You saw my skip. I almost hit my head on the ceiling.
Yo, fucking Nico
It
had a
wasn't
better
even a
skip than you. Then Nico doesn't even play ball.
And because I hate it. I hate it.
You hate the skip that much. All
I
right.
hate the skip that much. I'm more of a Harry Kane, Mo Salah, Cristiano Ronaldo type of
Go
penalty.
straight for it. No pause in the middle.
Yeah. Before I used to be Sergio Ramos and Neymar and Sky and shit. But anyways, United hosting Chelsea tomorrow. It should be a really good game. Chelsea, doing their best to mean, most likely they have their place secured, but Arsenal and Tottenham are not too far behind, and United still trying to push up to get into the top four and secure a Champions League spot. Uh, but let's move on to this weekend's fixtures of the EPL. We have Newcastle hosting Liverpool, Leeds United hosting Man City, Everton hosting Chelsea, Spurs at home to Leicester, West Ham against their London rivals Arsenal, and Manchester United. This game is on Monday, by the way, at home to Brentford. Let's start off with the first game, which is Newcastle, who are doing exceptionally well, moving on to ninth place, top of the table, top half of the table, I would say, hosting Premier League battlers Liverpool. Gap, give me your opinion about this game.
This listen, you said I know this is the first game of the week. That 12:30 kickoff time over there in the UK is no one likes it. We don't like the 7:30 kickoffs. I think this is going to be one hell of a game. You were saying before we started that West Ham Arsenal is probably your game of the week. I think Newcastle Liverpool is going to contend for that because Newcastle are just on such a high. They're not going to let down. They're going to want to push and see how good they actually can end up. And Liverpool, of course, they can't afford to drop any points. So I think this is going to be a goal fest.
Okay,
I think it'll still go Liverpool's way. 3-2.
3-2 to Liverpool. Okay, what about you, Marco?
I mean, I understand the high. They have lost in the past 4 games. Before that, they lost 3 consecutive ones, but before that, it was 8 that they didn't lose. So they're for a team that was struggling at the beginning of the season to be where they're at now, which is out of relegation zone, which is finding themselves in a comfortable situation, even though they have lost a player due to injury. Um, I do feel it's going to be like a tight game, again based on the situation of the weekend of the upcoming week. Um, and Liverpool having to fight for a position in the final of the Champions League. I do feel that that's going to come into effect in this game. I don't think Newcastle will win this one. Um, Fuck, but at the same time, it itches in me
You
that
can see it. You
this
can
could be a
see it though.
tie. No, I mean, it itches like I have this itch that I'm like, this could this could technically be a tie, and a downfall in the sense
Mm-hmm.
that this gives Man City a cushion. If and we'll get to Man City. So you know what? I'm gonna go with my gut, and I'm gonna say a 1-1 for this game.
Okay. Well, I'll have to agree with Marco. I wrote it down before he said anything. I'm saying one.
What are you,
I'm
Peter?
saying 1-1. Hey, I learned from the best, man.
For real, bro.
Uh, I'm getting more and more comfortable with this hosting thing right now. It's actually pretty fun.
Hey,
Now
There you
I know
go.
why he
See?
likes to do it. But
Oh,
I also
Eric,
predict.
Eric, if you're listening, I think he's going to be gunning for your job
it's
now.
gonna be
No,
your
no, no,
job,
no.
right?
I can't. Only if he can't do it, I'll
There
take the
you go.
role if you guys want me to, of course. But I agree with you, Marco. I think it's going to be a 1-1 tie. It's going to be a really, really tough battle, tough game. Newcastle has been doing really, really well. It's actually pretty fun to watch to see that. But I just hope they go in shambles next season because I don't want all that money to take over the league. Uh, but I think Liverpool's going to have a hard time getting past them. They'll get their chances, um, but I don't think Newcastle will let them walk away with the W. So 1-1. 1-1 for me, 1-1 for Marco, and a 3-2 goal fest for Gat over here. And we'll ask Nick and Eric later. Um, Next game, Leeds at home to City. Leeds, who are doing pretty well also. What did you say? They are undefeated in the last 5 games?
That
Uh,
is correct. Yes, they have gone past 5 games without a loss. So it's 3-2. What's 2 ties, and then they
mhm.
lost. Fuck, consecutively 6 games, and then go back and there's like win loss tie win win kind of like that type of thing. So they've definitely been an up and down battle. Right now they're kind of cruising. They kind of figured the situation mostly because they have a new coach.
Mhm.
Uh, as much as I love Leeds, this one is not going to be an easy one for them. And even though they are at home, they are still Leeds. So Man City should technically be able to walk in, say hi, score a couple goals, walk out. I predict 3-1 Man City.
Okay. What about you, Gat?
Yeah, I think you got to keep in mind, yeah, they're undefeated in their last five, but that's against Palace, Watford, Southampton, Wolves, and Norwich. They're going up against City. There's no way they carry the same effect that they've had over the past 5 games. It's going to be a fun game to watch, um, but I think Man City are just going to have their way with them. And with the depth that they have, even though they do have to worry about playing in Champions League follow a couple days after, they're going to slaughter them. I see this being another route easily. I'm gonna go 5-1 lead City.
5-1 City. Another 5-1. Like they beat Watford. Okay. Well, I say 2-0 to City. I feel like they're going to reserve a couple of their players so they could keep them healthy against Madrid for the next fixture of Champions League. Um, such as like Foden. I feel like Mara is going to start this time. I think they're going to keep Ruben Diaz. Stones. Did Stones walk away with an injury, by the way?
Seems
He
like
got
it.
out
Yeah,
pretty early.
I think he
Yeah.
came out early for Fernandinho, I believe.
Yeah. And he was playing right back, too, actually.
And that's where one of the goals came through with Vinicius Junior's speed.
Okay.
And it was because what's his face was playing
And
as a
he
right
and
back.
he got megged in the middle
Yeah.
of that
He
too.
got megged, and
He
not
got
only
megged.
that, he turned on him. He got fucked.
Yeah. So, I mean, Pep Guardiola, he has a B and C team. He's able to rotate his team very well around. But I think he's going to put a couple of his best players like De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva on the bench and not start them, keep them healthy. And if he does start them, he's going to take them out early. So my prediction is City 2, Leeds United no. So the next game I have here is Everton, who are now in relegation zone, hosting third place Chelsea. How do you think that would turn out, guys?
Oh man, this is gonna be fun to watch because Everton are just gonna go right down. There's no way. 2
You
0
don't think so?
Chelsea. 2-0 Chelsea. It's been fun, Everton.
I mean, there's still more games left. You
Yeah, they're
never
staying
know.
down. They're staying. They have a tough run of
They
fixtures to
actually,
end the season.
yeah, they actually do.
And I believe they play Arsenal on the last day, if I'm not mistaken. So one, you have Arsenal fighting for top four, which it could very well come down to the last day, depending on what happens at the North London Derby in a couple weeks.
Hmm.
So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, the motherfuckers have 6 games left. Chelsea, Leicester City, Watford, Brighton, Brentford, sorry, Crystal Palace, and Arsenal.
Yeah, not a lot of easy
They're
games.
not
But
easy. They're not easy.
what's your prediction on this one, Marco?
Oh, bro, this is gonna be a sweeper, man. I don't see ever. I mean, you can never say never. There's always a possibility. What's the possibility? Minimal. I don't see it. If I have to give it a percentage, it's 0.000025. I'll give this one a 3-0 Chelsea.
3-0 Chelsea. Okay. I'm probably going insane here, but Lampard is welcoming his old team, Chelsea, and I think Everton is going to do their best to actually fulfill a win. And I think they will win just barely 2-1. And it will help them, keep up with Burnley to stay out of relegation zone. But we'll see how Burnley turns out in their match. Um, but it would, I mean, it's it's karma because in a fucking Pickford, he pissed me off with this whole time wasting in the Merseyside derby this past weekend by catching the ball in the air and then purposely going down to the ground. And I saw a fucking picture of him with a big smile on his face. It bit him in the ass, like a whole chunk of his fucking right butt cheek. And then like Alisson, just to troll him, he did the same thing, and he got a huge applause by the Liverpool fans after he did that. I actually applauded Alisson for doing that. But going back to this game, I just needed that little rant because Pickford's I don't like him. Um, but I'm gonna say Everton with the win, 2-1.
You
What
crazy,
you got?
but okay.
I'm crazy. Okay,
You
I
crazy?
like it. I like thinking crazy anyway. Next game, Spurs hosting Leicester. Um, do you guys want me to go first, or you guys want me to go last?
You go first this time.
Okay, I'll go first this time.
I don't want you
Well,
copying my predictions.
I only I didn't copy. I wrote it down before you said anything. Okay.
There's no proof of that, so we can't really go by that.
I do. You could tell by the ink. So, anyways, last time these guys faced each other at the Foxes Stadium, um, Spurs came from behind with 2 goals by Bergwijn to get a late winner. Spurs, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane love scoring against Leicester. They need to show up this weekend against them, and I think they will. And I think it will be a 4-0, 4-1. Actually, I'll give one to Leicester. 4-1 win for Spurs.
Yeah. Trusting your boys, huh?
I need to. I really need to. This is a huge opportunity, especially because Arsenal's traveling to West Ham, and that's not going to be an easy game. So
Lucky for you, Leicester need to win the Conference League. So they're definitely putting all their eggs into that basket. So that it's I don't see this being a strong Leicester side
okay,
because they're gonna need. I know Brendan Rodgers is gonna need to he's gonna have that in the back of his mind that he needs to win the Conference League. So
needs to win the
he's gonna have to rest some players or take them off early or whatever the case may be. So it's not gonna be as strong of a Leicester side. So yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I think Spurs finally bounce back and finally get a goal after a couple weeks. 3-1.
3-1 for Spurs. Thank you, yeah.
Yeah,
Goal by Bentancur this time. His
yeah,
first goal
okay,
for the
sure.
team.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Leicester needs to win the Conference League because it will secure them a spot for Europa League next season.
Yeah, and like I said, and I think I said after, I think it was after recording, or I don't remember, it was at the end of the last podcast, but Rodgers is not there if he doesn't win the Conference League, in my opinion. So he's got to win if he wants to have a job next season.
Okay, what about you, Marco? How do you see this Spurs Leicester game?
Oh, I have a feeling that tonight.
What's your feeling?
He's got a tickle.
I'm gonna predict.
He's got a tickle.
I got a tickle.
He's gonna predict Vardy comes back in hat-tricks.
I mean, as much look honestly, and this is no troll, no nothing. I promise you. As much as I want Spurs to walk away with the tire loss on this game, I just don't see it. I do see him walking with the win. I don't see it being a big game or an amazing game to watch. I just know that the Spurs walk away with the win. I'll give it a 2-0 Spurs. I hate to say that because I do feel like Leicester should be able to do more.
I love that you're saying that.
But Leicester's been so up and down lately that
okay.
I feel like that Spurs up and down is not as bad as Leicester's. So I'll give it to Spurs this time, unfortunately.
I think you accidentally added the
No,
in
I
front,
said what
unfortunately.
I said.
Verga, entonces. All right, so well, I appreciate you guys for choosing. Oh, look who's joining right now.
Yep.
I appreciate I appreciate you guys with that score line.
He just wanted to say that he was here. It's just that he wasn't gonna be here. He just said, "Hey, what's up?"
So the next game, West Ham hosting Arsenal, Battle of London, right there. West Ham coming away with the loss. Last time they played home against Chelsea, and Arsenal last time they played away at United, they won 3-1. Oh no, it was home actually. Never mind. Take that back. But what do you guys think? Marco, I'll start with you actually, since this is your team.
So, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. The back 4.
Yes,
What's up,
and
Dick?
Nick.
Hey,
What's
there
up?
he
Nice
is.
to have you on.
On everyone.
If I'm not
Hello,
mistaken, Nick, you
listeners.
could correct me if I'm wrong. You might know this one. The back four for West Ham right now is
What back for?
exactly their quote unquote starting back four is not really there. They're basically playing with extras because of red cards and injuries. Correct? If I'm mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
their last center back, Craig Dawson, just recently got injured, so they currently have no real first team center backs fit right now.
Okay. Based off of that stat alone, I feel like we should be able to put our foot down, show what we can do, and score some goals. I want to walk in confident into this game. I know we can do it. I'll give it a 3-0.
3-0 to West Ham.
He's just not even going to answer. So, Marco,
If I was close by, I would have thrown something at you, but sadly you're at home and I'm at home.
is Tommy Asu back? Is he going to play?
I'm hoping.
So he's back in. Is he back in training though?
He played a couple minutes last game. They threw him in for Churchill for a couple minutes. I think he played like maybe 5 to 10 minutes max. I want him to play because I need him to build that confidence up when we do play against Spurs. So I would love to see him up in this game. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did. At least, even if he didn't start, at least if to give him at least a full half, it's still progress on his end. So again, 3-0 is the result. Walks away with the win. I hope I'm not jinxing anything.
I'm actually going to second that. I agree with the 3-0, not only because
I'm trying to take my points away as well. Damn it, man! That's why I should be going last.
No, I mean, listen, I almost said 4-0, but I think 4 might be a little bit too much. I think not only do they not have a back line, but they're also focusing on Europe. So it's even this last time out, like I said before, it was a weekend lineup. It's very rare that Moyes rotates like that. And I think he's going to do it again because he's going to keep his eyes on Europe. So I think that's also going to contribute to it. So 3-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, if West Ham win the Europa League, they have to get through Frankfurt first. They'll qualify for Champions League automatically. What do you think, Nick? Nick, we'll go back to the other games, especially the Newcastle Liverpool. Since you're a Liverpool fan, I want to get your input on that one. But what's your prediction on this match, West Ham and Arsenal?
3-1 Arsenal Football Club.
I like how direct. He doesn't change even if he's not in the studio.
Simple.
He'll just give his the
straight answer.
Yeah, straight answer. No reasons why. Just fuck it. Let's continue. Let's keep on rolling.
Well, I'm gonna do the same thing. Unfortunately, an Arsenal win, but 2-1.
You're just going with it because I gave you a good prediction in Spurs. If I would have given a shitty one, I think you would have gone against me.
Absolutely not, because I do know about that backline with West Ham and their focus on Europa League. The last, I guess, game that we're going to focus on with our predictions is United hosting Brentford on Monday. Gat, let's start with you since that's your shit team. What do you think?
Yeah.
Respect on you.
Hey, man.
I feel good. I feel good right now. So this is kind of fun. So I kind of want to add a little bit of toxicity right now.
2-2.
2-2. Wow. No faith in your United team. Okay, Marco.
It's there, but it's United.
It sucks because now that he said that, like I was actually thinking that a tie is a possibility, even though as bad as United is doing right now, they are at home, and as good as throughout the season Brentford has been, I wouldn't be surprised if a tie was the result of this upcoming game. So I'll match Gat in saying 2-2.
What about you, Nick?
Oh man, Manchester United Football Club, funny club.
Funny club.
United Tex.
Put a
How'd you
clown
ha-
with a red nose.
Mine has
man.
lights too.
United Tex.
Give me a 2-2. Desmond.
2-2 also. So all three of you say 2-2. Am I the only one that's saying 1-1? But
Oh, but you're going with the tie. I mean,
we're all going with the draw.
That's weird, man. I feel like Eric will be the only one that will say like Brentford wins, something like that. Don't give him the
Probably.
results. Just let him know what games we're going for.
Wait,
That's
is this game
Gotcha.
is this game under lights at night in the UK?
Yes, it
It's
is.
Monday night, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
3 p.m.
it's
EST.
definitely a draw.
Yeah.
Man has
Uh,
that prediction about the lights or no lights, man.
Yeah, I do. The games under the lights tend to be pretty decent.
I mean, that's what happened with Crystal Palace and Leeds. They tied 0-0. But that was a bad game.
Great
All right,
example, Jose. Great example.
it's a great example of the last Monday night game that we had. That's what I was going with. Monday Night Football. But let's go back to the 4 games before that Nick missed. Newcastle versus Liverpool. Nick, what do you think?
Bright and early, Nick. Bright and early.
The early kickoff tax, right? Damn. I don't like St. James Park away. I never liked it in previous years at all. I always just feel like Newcastle come out to play. St. Maximin, Bruno Guimaraes, Jonjo Shelby hitting diagonals.
Can you see St. Maximin going?
I swear to God, if I see St. Maximin doing that, I'm punching a fucking hole through my TV. I swear, bro.
Who do you think he would have the balls to do it in front of? Like, if you had to choose one of the Liverpool players that you would think they'll be, not only would he do it, but it would look funny doing it in front of him. Who do you think? I think Van Dijk,
the most. If he's on the pitch, the funniest would be Milner because he's the most Brexit kind of player, and he's gonna be, oh fucking hell, I'm just gonna fucking 2 for him. Just like, two studs to his fucking ankles and dislocated.
I think he would go 2 studs up, just like
Yep. He did the exact same thing to Neymar, like in 2018 in the Champions League at Anfield. Neymar started doing like his little truquitos and shit. Neymar just boom. I mean, Milner just boom. Like, fuck out of here, like Brexit type shit. But Newcastle at home hosting Liverpool. Give me 3-1 Liverpool. 3-1.
Do you want me to give you the predictions that we gave you, or?
Sure.
Gas said 3-2 to Liverpool, and Marco and I both said 1-1. Next game is Leeds hosting City.
Yeah, 2-1 Leeds.
2-1 Leeds. Oh.
I'll come back to this.
Gat said 5-1 to City. Marco said 3-1 to City. I said 2-0 to City. Everton hosting Chelsea.
1-0 Everton.
See, I'm not the only one who's picking Everton.
You both are crazy.
I picked 2-1 Everton.
Chelsea's record away at Goodison Park is not good.
See, he's been doing this.
Nico would be the one to know this, bro.
His homework. He's been doing his homework. Gas said 2-0 to Chelsea. Marco said 3-0 to Chelsea, and I said 2-1 Everton. And last but not least, Spurs hosting Leicester.
Spurs at home to Leicester is always a battering. 3-0 Spurs.
I like you guys today. You guys are amazing. Gas said 3-1 to Spurs. Marco said 2-0 to Spurs. I said 4-1 to Spurs. So you say you want to go back to the Leeds City game? How come?
I have this tingle in my...
In your regions?
Yeah. Whether I need to go get it checked out, I don't know. But there's something special going on. At Ellen Road. I feel it. The reason why.
Oh, Ellen Road. Oh, never mind.
12:30 p.m. in American time, Eastern Standard Time. 5:30 p.m. under the floodlights, Ellen Road, bumping. They're not safe from relegation. Let me see. They're currently in 16th place with 34 points, which is currently 5 points ahead of Everton. With the game in hand. So if Everton were to win, it cut that down to 2 points. I think Leeds will be jumping. They drew 0-0 against Crystal Palace this past Monday. Like I said, under the floodlights, Ellen Road will be. If City win, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked.
Okay.
I'll be shocked. The American
Alright.
man, the Yank, as people from the UK call Americans, the Yanks, he's got a plan for me. The American man has got a plan for me. The dollars, the soccer, he's got a plan for me. 2-1 Leeds United.
Okay.
I feel
nice. You meant City. You said United.
Yeah, Leeds United Football Club.
Oh, I thought you meant two to Leeds,
You're
one
thinking
to
it's
United.
four, bro.
Which
No.
sorry. All right. I think my brain is getting fried now. But real quick, Nick, I just want to get your input. I don't know if you saw the Liverpool match today against Villarreal. What you think? Can they keep it up against in Spain next week?
I think it will. What'll be interesting is that I think it was very key they got a result today, particularly a clean sheet, just because. And I think them kind of getting it done early today, not the leg, but the actual game around the 60th minute allowed the players to kind of just retain the ball and keep it ticking and whatnot. So especially Wednesday night to Saturday afternoon away at Newcastle, that's a pretty short gap. So the players probably have like one day of training. So I was kind of excited to actually see the result because it kind of allows these players to kind of get their rest and whatnot, and especially a 2-0 victory. I'm not saying obviously it's not over, but I think next week Villarreal, that place is not easy to go to at all. I think United won there this past season, Champions League. Arsenal haven't had a good time there. Obviously Bayern lost 1-0. So I don't know what their stadium is called, but away at Villarreal isn't tough. But I think Villarreal will have to probably come out and play. But on this particular game, though, I kind of expected. I said the same thing against Everton. When you don't have like the same exact quality players as the opposition, like for example, Villarreal compared to City, Chelsea, Liverpool, you have to kind of set up your team in a negative way, in a kind of way that kind of counters the opposition's quality of players, because you don't have like Villarreal. Like look at their defense, man. Raul Albiol, 37-year-old, like, he's been playing phenomenal, but like look at their goalkeeper, like Rulli, which he was horrible. Alberto Moreno. Like, come on, you know what I'm trying to say? So, like, when you have those kinds of players, you have to, the manager, Una Emery, who's one of the best tacticians.
Moreno, bro. They used to be your player.
He was so shit, bro. He's the reason why Liverpool lost against Sevilla in 2016 in the Europa League final.
Ooh.
But he's a cool guy.
Away, but this time it's gonna be because of him.
He's a good vibe.
Is gonna continue going.
I wish he played, bro. If he played, fucking 5-0 Liverpool tonight. But the low block from Villarreal, I think I've definitely seen a lot. I've seen a lot better low blocks. Against Everton. Like, Everton are battling relegation, and they set up a better low block than Villarreal today. So.
So what do you think would be what do you think would be the score line at the end? Not total between the two games, but in Villarreal.
I think it'll be 1-0 Liverpool.
1-0 Liverpool.
1-0 Liverpool. I said before the actual tie will be tougher than Bayern, and I still stand on that. I think if Bayern played tonight, they would have got smacked 5-0.
Yeah. I remember your prediction for this game today was actually 1-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got the win. And what about the Madrid City game? What'd you think of that? And give me your prediction for next week, real quick.
Listen, Marco, Madrid are weird, bro. Like as a team,
you were saying that earlier.
As a team, like, I'm being completely honest, they're nowhere near City. But the fact that they only lost by 1 goal means something, that Madrid just performed to a higher standard under these Champions League lights. Like, it's crazy. Like,
well, that, yes, but I feel like I was telling them, they have something extra that you don't usually find in like normal teams for some reason. Because I've said it throughout this whole season. I've said it. This team does not have the capacity to make it to the finals, and I don't know how the fuck we made it to the semifinals. We do league, yes, perfectly fine, but Champions League surprising to me. But at the same time, I'm with it, bro. It's just a feeling, it's a spirit, it's in our DNA to be able to always fight and come from below or from behind in this case because we always come from behind.
Yeah, because if you compare Madrid to City, City are like miles better. Like their whole system and players and management and tactics and whatnot. Like I looked at the game yesterday. I looked at the two of like City just like kind of like on another level. But like I said, Madrid just show up to these like Modric, Benzema, Vinicius. Like it's crazy. Like Modric and Benzema have been doing it, but Vinicius, I'd say for this past year, has really when he started kicking up and he's starting to really develop and entertain and kick up on these bright lights. So away at Stamford Bridge, he assisted Benzema for his first goal, right? Chelsea at home, he assisted Benzema as well. Obviously scored at the Etihad yesterday. Scored against Liverpool last season. So Vinicius starting to just integrate into the side, and you've already seen these kinds of players who just get into these sides, but perform and compete at the highest of levels, regardless if they've been playing this side for 3 to 5 years. Nope, Vinicius comes in, boom. So it's just it's weird. It's weird. I think Ancelotti compared to Pep, I'd probably put Ancelotti like as of right now as an actual manager below Pep.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, like adjustments, getting the best out of his players on one game, like Benzema, Modric, Vinicius, individual brilliance goes, but it's great. But on the predictions, I have a repeat of the 1981 Champions League final between Liverpool and Real Madrid at Paris.
What was that?
Huh?
Like you weren't even born yet. None of us were even born yet. You saw the highlights of that game or what?
I just know it was a repeat, and then history tends to repeat itself. So if it's Real Madrid against Liverpool, it's in Paris, and in 1981 it was between them two in
Who won
Paris.
that?
Liverpool.
Liverpool won it. Okay. So what would you say would be the score line at Bernabeu?
So he's saying that Real Madrid is passing.
I know. I'm talking about what score would it be?
2-1 Madrid. They win it on PKs.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
No way.
I said 2-1 Madrid. They win it on PKs. Panenka by Benzema.
Oh wait, Marco.
What's up?
So, if we were to go to PKs, who's Madrid's 5 PK takers?
As of right now,
That you know of.
Without the specific order, of course. Lucas Vázquez will take one.
Lucas Vázquez?
Yeah, he will take one. Modric will take one. Kroos will take one. Benzema will take one. I wouldn't be surprised if Vinicius takes one. So it'll be Vinicius. Benzema,
I'd be.
I think it'd be.
Actually, no. I'll switch one with another one. So for me right now, it'll be if Lucas Vázquez is on the field, Lucas Vázquez takes one. Benzema takes one. Vinicius takes one. Modric takes one, and I wouldn't be surprised if Alaba takes one.
I could see Alaba taking one.
I could see Alaba taking one, but I could also see Casemiro.
Yeah, I mean, again, yeah. Vinicius to me is the up in the air one. I think he's not there, at least in penalty wise. They might go for somebody with a little more confidence, maybe like Casemiro or Kroos. If either one of them is on the field, of course. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. The lineup right now, honestly, it's not that good. But shit, anything can happen. But Nico, to your point, the whole Paris in was it 1980 what?
81.
81. Actually, I basically told Josue and got the same thing. If there's one team that I did not want to go against in the final was Liverpool. I'm scared as fuck going to that final. Because if it was a home and away, I say Real Madrid takes it, but it's a one-off, and you guys are very unpredictable and are really well set up. So
yeah, I'm sure we'll discuss the return leg at the Bernabeu on Monday, but like seeing Kroos playing in that 6th position as a sole DM.
So bad.
And I think the days of like for example, like Jorginho, he's like he is playing in the DM role, like the classic regista role where the player is slow, he's lethargic, he's sluggish, but on the ball they're brilliant. I think those kinds of days are kind of over. Where nowadays you need to be more athletic.
So
It was weird seeing Kroos in that position. Like he's phenomenal on the ball, but at some times, like remember when I said about technicality? Sometimes you need that oomph with athleticism.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was watching today and Chinguito, they brought all this conversation up, and one of the things that because Guti was on this past one, today's, and one of the things that he said was Ancelotti got it wrong for this lineup specifically, that in his eyes, if he would have been the coach, he would have gone with a 4-4-2. And had paired up Camavingas with Kroos for that specifically, for that explosiveness plus the patience and the tactical abilities of Kroos, and then you would have maybe bring Rodrigo into the second half to switch it up a little bit, but Camavinga would have been the key player to bring in or have at the beginning to hold and to have that explosion in the midfield or to the sides in this case. To be able to counteract and fight against Man City better.
Yeah, it's just that I think, yeah, like I said, those days of having the slow player who is brilliant on the ball, having performed that role. Well, I think once you go up against, I think it's fine against teams like, your Real Betis, your Villarreals, maybe you're even Sevillas, like those kinds of teams in La Ligas. But even against Premier League teams, you're, for example, I don't know, like West Ham, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. But I think when it gets against those teams like Atletico, Barca, maybe next season, Bayern, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, that's where that role of having the slow player trying to dictate the tempo and pick out passes, but he's a liability going in defense and in transition. Those days are over, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten away
and you saw it last night.
We've gotten away with it because we have Casemiro to cover his ass and
right.
to allow him to be able to do what he usually does. But without him, because Kroos can't perform on his own unless he has somebody to do the job that he will not do or he can't do because he doesn't have the speed. But I mean, let's see what happens this upcoming week. Casemiro should be back for the game at home. I'm praying and hoping that Alaba is also okay, because if we have to put an Alaba and Nacho Militao pairing, it's gonna be a City Liverpool final.
What would be your midfield three for next week, assuming Casemiro is fit? And so I'm assuming Modric and Casemiro.
I'd go with what has always worked. Casemiro,
tried and tested.
Kroos, Modric. The one thing that always switches is who's gonna be pushed at the right wing. Mm-hmm. I would go with Rodrigo on this one, but I've seen that he pushes Valverde a lot. I think he does it so that there's some form of 4-4-2 in the defense I feel like it's a 4-1-4-1 in defense sometimes, or a 4-4-2 in defense and then a 4-3-3 on attack.
Okay.
Yeah, so should be a spectacle.
Should be a good one for next week. Like Nick said, we're gonna talk about it more on Monday when hopefully we're back in our studio. But anything else you guys like to add to this podcast today?
Yes, you did a phenomenal job.
Thank you. You guys did too. Thanks to Nick, showing up late. But we were able to get him in there.
Remember, we agreed. Remember, it's not his fault; it's Eric's fault. So,
dang, you heard it.
Gat said it. None of us said it.
Gat said it. Nobody said it.
Nobody agreed, and Gat was the one that said it. Eric, just heads up.
You were quiet for like the past 5 minutes. You were waiting for that, weren't you?
No, let the guys talk.
Well, guys, this is the end of our show. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe right on the bottom of every channel that we have. We are the Bench Warmers, the bench with a voice, where the bench is always warm. Good night.
You had to read it. Good job, bro.
I did.
I was like, looking down. I was like, okay. Good job.
Peace.